Are we?
Well, I mean, I just started. It's coming. It's on its way. It's on its way.
Don't say that, because every time you say that, I'm.
You think that's what she said?
It's coming. No, the football song, the England football song.
See, the England.
You never heard that before?
No, man. Of course not.
Oh God. Oh yeah. It was first done in 1996.
Yeah. But
basically, when you see the football and you hear the England fans are singing, "It's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming. Football's coming home." That is from a #1 song that was in the charts back in 1996. It's a fan favorite.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay, where are you? There we go. Okay, I can send this link to my friend. Let's put that on mute. Don't need that on. Copy.
So we are live streaming. Let me go ahead and just introduce today as we randomly wait for anyone to show up. First and foremost, welcome to another Star Wars Rumors and News, which I don't have another good title for that. Maybe one day we'll come up with something,
Star Wars Rumors and News. Yeah, let's be honest. Okay. Star Wars debunking the shit posters.
But we talk so much of the other stuff as well.
Well, yeah, exactly. But we like to, I like to debunk the stuff.
Yeah,
it's completely and utterly stupid.
The Banta Poodoo, I believe is what.
Oh, you've gone live on Twitch as well. You're dual streaming.
I'm dual streaming, baby. What?
Told you about this before. You've got different people in chat, and you've got different people in YouTube. See, now I have to have it, and now I've got to put it on both locations on my bloody.
Oh, Nev, my goal in life is to make your life harder.
Yeah, and my goal in life is to roast you,
which you do pretty accurately, pretty effectively. Okay, so tonight, Nev and we're gonna talk about a lot, like a lot.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of Star Wars news. I gotta say, like, I've been out of town, like the whole month of June was just a crapshoot for me. I was in one national forest or another, not because I wanted. Well, I mean, I did want to be there. I love spending time with my family and stuff, but it was a family thing, So you go out and spend time with family, but like I missed half of this stuff. But tonight we are talking about the Slave One controversy, the Mandalorian. Can it be saved, or is it saving Star Wars? Right. The Atlantic article, which is shocking that there's an article in the Atlantic that's getting this much attention for Star Wars. We're going to be talking about Jimmy Schmidt, and will he or won't he be playing Bale Organa in Kenobi? We're going to be talking about Seth Green. Like, there's a whole buttload of crap that we're discussing tonight. So what I'm going to do is after this wraps up, I am going, and this, Nev, this is going to be something that I'm going to need your help with. I am going to try to stay focused on each specific topic. And then have legit breaks so that we can, what we can do is we can break this up and, post each individual segment, right? So people can watch them later on a replay, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, first and foremost, how are you, Nev?
So what are we talking about first? While I sneakily do a fleet battle.
While you sneakily do a fleet battle, we are going to talk about, do you play harmonica? Dopamine asks over on Twitch.
I have no idea. No, I don't play the harmonica.
I was gonna say, I believe that's to you, Nev, because
I'm wearing a cowboy hat.
Yeah, and it looks good. No. I gotta say, it looks good, man.
I make this. I make cowboy hats. I may be British, but I can make a cowboy hat.
Yeah, I think it looks good. I think it looks good. So here's the first thing. Disney drops Slave One name on Lego Boba Fett's Star Wars ship. Now, this article that we're looking at right now is from the Hollywood Reporter, so take it for what it is. This came out in so the thing here is the next Star Wars Boba Fett ship piece or box set that I'm sure is going to cost like $500. If it's worth anything, it'll cost like $500. Has no longer has the name Slave One, the iconic name Slave One. It is now called the Boba Fett Starship.
Yeah. Well, it's not that. Here's the thing. It's nameless. It's not that it's called. It's just nameless because Slave One is Boba Fett's starship.
Yes. And
so it's not that it's not that it's not that the name has been changed. It's that the name is not referred to anywhere on the packaging, on the box.
Yes.
Which
on the box
kind of is,
stupid.
Which is just weird.
Yeah. Yeah. It has a name. It has a specific name. It's called Slave One. That's the name of the ship.
Mm-hmm. And the big question is why? Why did Lego leave it off?
So
because at the end of the day, that's everybody's like, oh, it's been removed for reason X, Y, and Z, and I'm thinking to myself, you don't actually know that.
No.
Do we have a statement from Lego?
Not.
Do we have a statement from Disney or Lucasfilm? The answer to that question is no.
Actually,
we don't.
I heard, and I'm looking it up online, live stream Google, always fun and a dangerous thing to do when you're live streaming, right? Searching anything on Google. Lego Slave One, there was Boba Fett ship. There was something that they actually did say, that someone had actually come out. Let's jump over to IGN real quick, see if they have any.
Oh God, really? IGN? That's your source?
That's the first source that looked slightly reputable. I mean, I'm not seeing anything, but I do remember there. Oh, let's see. No, it was from Lego. Let's see. Jedi News spokesman spoke with Lego designer Jens. Sorry.
Convoy Fredrickson and Michael Lee Stockwell, who confirmed the change was requested directly. So we have Lego saying that they were specifically requested directly by Disney to withhold the name on the box.
Yeah. So
okay, so we know that it's not a Lego decision. We know it's a Disney decision.
It says based on its let's see, it's everybody is
who would be. I'm just trying to think who the hierarchy is. So that would be, who's the CEO? Would that be marketing or merchandising?
I would say merchandising. I would say merchandising would be over that. I'm not 100% because it's merchandise. So let's have
a look. Disney merchandise CEO is principal CEO for merchandise
Kathleen
would be
Kennedy.
Jess Koss.
Okay, Jess Koss. Not
Jess
Koss.
Koss. No, Jess, surname COS.
So this is
principal CEO Disney Store. So this is merchandise, yeah.
So this is Jedi News. It was posted on the 26th.
Oh no, maybe it's not Jess Koss. That's just for one store.
This is the person that was being, reported from here. This is the article that IGN, talked of. It says the next. Let's see. Then the next one in the Mandalorian ship is from the Mandalorian is the Boba Fett starship, all capitalized. right? Yes, I built another. We're not calling it Slave One anymore. This is the Boba Fett ship. Okay, why are we dropping the Slave One name? Everybody is. It's probably not something which has been announced publicly, but it's just something that Disney doesn't want to use anymore. So it is official from Lego that the people that they're working with over at Disney, they're like, hey, we're done with this. We're not calling it Slave One anymore, which I think is stupid. Like
just looking at the regarding the person in charge, so marketing is an individual called Daisy Sit, and both VP marketing, VP sales.
Yeah.
So we're talking, the marketing and sales are going to go hand in hand, basically.
Yeah.
So, this is not something that the person at the top, Bob Chapek.
No.
Bob Chapek's not going to, Bob Chapek, is the top of the pyramid, and everybody else underneath has their jobs and their parts and their roles to play. So there'll be a company policy, and it will be all those vice presidents and senior vice presidents underneath to comply with that. So
exactly,
they would probably look at a company policy and think, oh, hang on a minute, does this comply with or not comply with company policy? And then they've got in touch with Lego, and instead of saying change the name to this, they've just said, look, we're not 100% sure what we want to do, and we don't really want to go to the top floor. We don't really want to go to the 45th floor of the building and ask a stupid question.
Yep.
So we'll err on the side of caution. Could you do us a favor and not put Slave One on the instructions or on the front of the box for us, please?
Exactly. And so this is not
an underling decision. This isn't not Bob Chapek.
Exactly. This is not something that that Chapek himself is coming out and saying, hey, company-wide Disney. But they're not wrong in saying that Disney has told them not to do it. Because someone at Disney...
that is 100% exactly.
And And so
somebody at Disney got in touch with them. Whoever's in charge of it's either sales or merchandising or marketing. It's got to be one of those VPs.
Yeah,
that would have made the call.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
And it's dumb.
It's stupid.
It's silly. It's the name of the ship.
Yeah,
it is the name of the ship. Slave One. I mean, for goodness sake, there is a. I mean. I can't remember what the book is. I can't remember what the extended universe book is, but there's a book that was set in the distant future.
Yeah.
And a story involving Han Solo and Boba Fett. Han's like an old man and he wants to relive his glory days. So he goes out in the Millennium Falcon and Boba goes chasing him in Slave 4. Because Slave 1 didn't last. Clearly, neither did 2 or 3.
Yeah.
By the time Boba Fett's an old man, he's on his 4th.
Yeah,
it's on his 4th ship, and he just keeps calling it Slave 1, Slave 2, Slave 3. So it
makes the most sense. That's what people do with like passwords. It's like Frank 1, Frank 2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they shouldn't, but it's what they do.
Here's the thing, right? Specifically with this, these 3 new, because it's not just Slave 1's ship that's getting a new ship. There were 2 other ships. There's 3 new Lego ships. Yeah. Right? Do you even know what the other 2 ships are?
No. Which is frustrating because as someone who's going to eventually buy them, not because I like playing with Legos, I know I'm a terrible person. So, side note,
Imperial, it's Imperial Light Cruiser, which is going to be 1,336 pieces with 5 Lego minifigures. So that's the light cruiser that Gideon used.
Oh, that sounds dope.
Boba's ship, and then an Imperial armored Marauder.
Ooh, so it looks like there's a lot. So
and that's gonna have minifigures, Grief Cargo, a couple of stormtroopers, and an artillery. So those are the 3 ships, and they were announced at LegoCon.
Yes.
Okay, but obviously all of the controversy is over
one thing.
Boba's ship.
One thing.
And I think I mean, I would not put it past Disney to do this deliberately to drum up PR.
Yeah, because if
For
people
the
are
Lego
talking about it,
sets.
if
Because
people are talking
about
yeah,
if people are talking about it, people are talking about it. Now there are some. Now here's the thing: people that don't care about the name but love Lego might still buy this. People that care about the name and think that withholding the name of the ship on the box, and obviously it would be. I mean, here's the thing: do we even know if it's been withheld on the instructions?
No, we don't.
Because because and here's the thing: people will be like, so they haven't put it on the box, but have they put it on the instructions? Is it on the instructions? I'd be interested to know if it's on the instructions. How to make Slave One. Because I have built those massive 100, these thousands of piece Lego things with the youngest before, and they take forever.
Yeah.
And the instruction manual is literally a manual. It's a big old chunky
It's like
book.
this thick.
It's thick.
Insane.
It's insanely thick, yeah. So maybe they did it as PR. Who knows?
They would have to, because here's the thing, like we're talking about it. Any news is news, right? Because it's how many people actually tuned in to LegoCon. People that are hardcore Lego players, absolutely, right?
Lego fans, not Star Wars fans.
Nope.
Lego fans.
Exactly. And so what this is going to do is this is going to let other people know, hey, there's another ship coming out, right? There's more stuff coming out. And it's going to be, it's publicity, right? People are going to talk about it, and it's going to get hyped, right? And I think that's exactly what it is. I think a lot of what Star Wars and Disney is doing with Star Wars is any publicity is good publicity. And that is not necessarily the case with Star Wars at all. Like,
no.
Period.
It's not when you've got so many hardcore fans. Not when you have a hardcore fan base for an IP. They really don't like names being screwed with.
No,
you can screw around with a lot of things, but when it comes to names, you can't, you just can't screw around with them. Yeah. I mean, I'll give you another good example. Plo Koon.
Yeah.
You imagine if they tried changing his name, people would be like, "Why?" And it'd be like, "Oh, because of his second name." And oblivious people would be like, "Well, I don't understand. What's the problem with his second name?" Yeah. And it's like, because that his second name has negative connotations.
Exactly.
But half the people you're selling the product to don't know. You've just illuminated. Oh, right. Oh, I didn't know that was a racial slur. But I do now, because you've highlighted it,
Yeah. Now that you've paid attention to it, I'm aware, and now I may have other feelings. And it's dumb, right? It's dumb. So
I guess we'll find out the next time they do a Plo Koon Black series, won't we?
That's true. That's true. Okay, now moving on. Now I actually did see this while I was on vacation. I was out in Tennessee. I went to Dollywood, and it was a lot of fun.
What you put that in your GA Center report, and I have no idea what that is. It made Ranger laugh though.
So Dollywood is Disneyland for country music fans. Like,
okay.
It's
as in Dolly Parton.
It's as in Dolly Parton, right? It's an amusement park dedicated entirely to the Queen of Country Music, right?
Oh, what a lovely woman she is.
Yeah, and I love Dolly Parton. And love her, right? And so it was cool. I got to go out to Nashville, and it was a lot of fun. But as I'm like getting ready one day, I see this article, and it says how Disney mismanaged the Star Wars universe. Okay. Now, I got to point out, this is not the first Star Wars article on The Atlantic, But
no, they have done other ones.
They have done.
They talked about the rise of Skywalker and stuff like that. Yeah.
So this is, I don't know if you can see this, but there was one.
Yeah,
that
I can see it.
Okay, the most incoherent Star Wars movie ever made, The Rise of Skywalker. I love that, but it's a different author. I was expecting the same author, but it's not.
No, different author.
And so what this does is it goes through and talks about what made Lucasfilm, what made George Lucas make the Star Wars, and what made Star Wars so good from the author's perspective, right?
Yeah, it's an opinion piece.
It's an opinion piece, right? It absolutely is. It does not bash Star Wars fans. It does not bash Star Wars in general, actually. But what it talks about is movie making, and how the sequel trilogy got it wrong. Even the prequel trilogy was misguided. It moved away from what made the originals so good.
Yeah, I mean, the article specifically highlights the volume of special effects.
Yeah. And it's
that's probably one of the biggest criticisms that Star Wars fans had of the prequel trilogies was too much special effects, you know?
Yeah.
Too much green screen, too much blue screen.
And because it doesn't age well. Like, if you go back now, I love the prequels because I love the stories of the prequels. I love the cartoons. I love the books that have come out. I actually just finished listening to Star Wars Shatterpoint, which is a Mace Windu story. And while I liked the book, and it wasn't necessarily my favorite because I'm not a Mace Windu fanboy, it was a fun read for sure. But one of the things that it did is it was a serial, right? Just like all of the Star Wars books and stuff, they're serials. It's one moment in time. Right, and one of the things that extended canon does is it fills in the gaps that the movies kind of leave. But what is fascinating about this is this says in other words that are actually written on the page. Okay, so this is me and Nev, of course. We're putting on our literary caps, and we're being analysts here.
I've literally got a cap, you know. I'm literally wearing a hat.
I don't. My speculation.
Your tinfoil Mike Zero hat is off in the Queen, is it?
It's off in the way. It's over here, and it'd be too hard to get to it. But here's the thing. Essentially, what this article says is, the originals were awesome because, and there was actually a line from it that I just adored. Where was it? The Star Wars franchise offers action escapism, but re-enchanting our own world was always its greatest trick. Okay? So the idea is it's something far away and distant, but something also that we can all connect to. Right? The idea that Star Wars is for everyone is a real idea because it's so vast that anything and everything can fit within it, right? Because everyone's story can be told through Star Wars. And then as we connect with Star Wars, we look at our own world and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. That building has its own history. That person has its own story to tell. And it makes everything a little more interesting. What this is saying is the originals were awesome. The prequels were misguided because they'd used too many special effects and they moved away from George Lucas and what made him make Star Wars so good. 7, 8, 9 were a cluster F that is terrible. Like it doesn't say that necessarily in those words, but it does say, look,
Hollywood's chief recycler.
Yeah, Hollywood's chief recycler.
Hollywood's chief recycler.
So I want to read this right here. It's just
Old
one
stories.
paragraph. Right now, Star Wars is at a turning point. Lucas's original vision famously inspired an era of big-budget blockbuster movies whose creators, just as famously, eventually ran out of new ideas and came to rely on sequels and spin-offs. Inevitably, Star Wars itself succumbed to the same fate. After releasing a divisive trio of prequels and at the turn of millennium, in 2012, Lucas sold his franchise to Disney, Hollywood's chief recycler of old stories. Fresh Star Wars films began to roll out in 2015. Though early acclaim and profits were impressive, creative trouble began to hurt the bottom line. In 2019, dismayed reviews and relatively soft ticket sales greeted The Rise of Skywalker, the finale of a trilogy set 30 years after the action of the first film. Around that time, Disney CEO Bob Iger announced a movie-making hiatus for Star Wars.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember when he said that.
That was a tough blow, you know. I was really looking forward to more films, and they'd even announced more films, right?
I mean, if you look back to what Disney were planning, as a result of the success of Rogue One, and Episode 7, but then when Episode 8 came out, and then the Han Solo movie just made it didn't turn a profit for them.
Not at all.
They were like, if that's not gonna, we spent like hundreds of millions on Han Solo and it didn't turn as a profit.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't do the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. Maybe we shouldn't do the Boba Fett, because they were wanting to do a Boba Fett movie, and they were wanting to do an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie.
Yeah.
Because they were, and they just got scared that, well, if a standalone Han Solo movie's not going to work, why would a Kenobi standalone movie and a Boba Fett standalone movie work? So they got scared. They got cold feet. And it's like, nope, we're just going to finish the trilogy, and then, we'll see what happens from there.
Yeah. And then The Mandalorian comes along with none other than Jon Favreau and oh my gosh. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. And
at the helm.
At the helm. That's right. So Dave Filoni, the metaphorical chosen one of Star Wars, he is the Luke Skywalker. And the true Luke Skywalker. He will bring balance to the Force. He will bring balance to the canon. One of the things that I think that got me thinking about this is the person I was watching an interview with Doomcock, Dictor Don Doomcock. I always forget his name. My apologies.
Victor Van Doomcock.
It's not Victor. It's Dictor.
Oh, it's Dictor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was interviewing like this notorious leaker. And I say leaker.
No. He's not a leaker. He's a reporter. Hollywood showrunner.
Oh, is he?
No. If you're talking about Pasha,
Pasha, yeah.
If you're talking about Pasha, he's not a Hollywood leaker. He's a Hollywood insider. He's run shows.
Yeah,
he's run shows and written shows. That's why he's referred to as an insider, because he knows how things go on. He knows how things run on the inside.
So in an interview, and I think it was Friday's interview, he had Pasha on. This guy.
Yeah, Friday Frolics.
Yeah,
it was Friday Frolics.
Yeah, and so one of the things that was saying, I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but like one of the things that was mentioned in this back and forth was, look, he's like I've met Jon Favreau a couple of times, and he's like, but one of my close friends is friends with, or is not friends, it works with Jon Favreau, something to that extent, and he asked, Jon Favreau came to Disney and said, let me turn this around for you. Let me fix this. And in walks the Mandalorian, right? Jon Favreau is connected to Star Wars. Jon Favreau has played multiple characters in Star Wars. He's a Mandalorian himself. I always forget which one he is, but he plays a Mandalorian.
He was the big rotund Mandalorian.
Yes, in the Mandalorian he plays that character, but that's him.
Yeah.
But he also voices a character in Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Yeah.
I think
he does that. He does that cheesy salute. As,
the one where he's flying off, and he's like, "I got to get one of those jetpacks."
Yeah,
it's awesome. But like
Mandalorians salute each other.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
It's pretty awesome, though. I mean, come on. But again,
it's good. I'm not. It's good cheese. There's bad cheese and there's good cheese, and that's good cheese.
It's cheese that
it's like, all right, I'll let you have that one.
It hasn't officially turned to badness, right? It's not the blue cheese as of yet, or the green cheese, which has then moved on beyond
blue cheese is good.
No, don't get me wrong. I love blue cheese. Don't get me wrong.
If it was blue cheese, that would mean it's like awesome cheese.
There's very few things that I will joke about, and food is one of them. I will not diss blue cheese. It is delicious.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own opinion.
Blue cheese.
If you don't like blue cheese, your opinion is wrong, and you need to develop deeper taste buds.
Something wrong with you.
A blue cheese hamburger with like bacon, like thick. Forget it, man.
And you put the blue cheese in the burger, right in the middle.
Oh, see, I
not
like
on it, not under it. You put no. You put the blue cheese in the meat.
See, I think that's. I like being able to pick up the fixins afterwards that have fallen out and just let them sit on
I'm
my
gonna have
beard
to. I'm gonna have to show you how to make a proper blue cheese burger sometime. Then.
Sure. Oh yeah, probably we'll have to do that. Maybe we'll do a live stream where we just cook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, we could do that.
So this Pasha, this showrunner, says, look, I know that he went himself. He's like, I've got an idea. This is what I want to do. Now, this article says, and this is the thesis of this article for any of my students who are watching, has had Lucas's galaxy lost its power, or had its new stewards simply mismanaged it. Now, I will argue that the rest of this article, which is a shot for shot, this is an example of them mismanaging it. All it is saying is how good the Mandalorian is. The rest of this article only talks about the Mandalorian and how it is like stepped things up. Okay? So what it is not saying, right? What it doesn't come out and say outright is, yeah, Disney mismanaged this. 100%. Because Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are doing what George Lucas did, episode 4, 5, and 6, and they are bringing fans to the show or to the content by the millions. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what it is. So this is a subtle nod or a subtle slam that says, look, you know what? You guys effed it up. You guys messed it up. And it's not on Star Wars. The fans are there. You just have to treat them right. You just have to make a good show. Right? Now, I again will point out one of the things that is fascinating, and I'm not sure where it is, but it says somewhere that the Mandalorian is the best live action Star Wars since the original, since like late 80s, something like early 80s, right? What that means is, you know what? In that time periods, the video games got it right. To some extent, the books got it right. To some extent, they did it well, right? Mm-hmm. In other areas of Star Wars, have done it well. It is this that is botched it, right? It is Disney and their approach has made this the thing that must not be named, right? So I loved this. I read it twice actually, and then I haven't read this one, but I told you to
go back. I told you to go back and read it, didn't I?
Yeah. And I've watched a few different articles on it. Again, the article itself does not come out and slam Disney, but the lack of the addressing later on what Disney has done and only focusing on the Mandalorian is a slam unto itself. I think it's a really well crafted article. If you guys want to check it out, it's on The Atlantic. It's great. Any final thoughts on that one, Nev?
No, that's pretty good. You got
All
that
right.
succinctly enough.
All right, now you're gonna have to walk me through this because I did not see this, and I am very curious. That Jimmy Smits.
Yeah, no. It was. I just came across it. I literally just came across it randomly. I don't think he wasn't. It wasn't somebody going to him and saying, "Oh, you coming back?" I think it was just somebody was interviewing him for something random, and the person remembered, "Oh, you know what? Hang on a minute. You've been in Star Wars, and there's a lot of live action going on at the moment." Because if you remember, one of my theories that I posited during Breaking Bad Batch was that Bale Organa would be the person to come in at the end to take be one of the people that could potentially take Omega away and keep her safe and away from harm. But that aside, when you take into consideration everything else that's going on and everything else that's being planned, it is not beyond too high a scope that he would make some kind of return, whether it be in an animated series or whether it be in a live action series.
Sure.
Because, let's be honest. I mean, Jimmy Smith's pretty suave. He's a good looking guy. He doesn't age.
Handsome.
He just doesn't age. I mean, he just doesn't age. I mean, I remember seeing him in Sons of Anarchy, and I'm thinking to myself, dude, you just don't age.
No.
What is your secret? I remember seeing him on the West Wing in the early 2000s, and then I see it. Then I saw him on Sons of Anarchy, and I'm like 10 years has passed, and I'm like, dude, 10 years has passed. You haven't aged like one little bit. What's going on?
Same. He's the absolute same. And the thing about it, he's a handsome
man. It's like
man.
Rob Lowe. It's like some of these Hollywood actors have just I don't know. They've made deals with Vidal Sassoon's Ghost. It's like, keep me young and beautiful forever, please.
Yeah.
And they just have.
And I don't know what he sacrificed or to who, but it's worked. It's definitely working for him. What is going on? Oh. But Jimmy Smits. I don't see him necessarily I disagree with you on Omega. He could. He absolutely could. It'll really just depend on where the show runs, and where it goes. But I just don't see it. I just don't.
Yeah. I mean, it's more likely that he would rock up in either Ahsoka's show or in Kenobi's show. I think Kenobi's show's probably the most. It would probably be the more obvious show that he crops up in. Because obviously we're talking about we're talking about a character that we're talking about a character that kind of could only really turn up in that era, because we don't know if he's still alive in the Mandalorian era. I mean, we know he's still alive in Bad Batch era. We just don't know that he's not.
I believe that he's not. So there was the book Star Wars from a Certain Point of View, and it looked at A New Hope, actually, and the first destruction of Alderaan. He was on planet with his wife during the destruction, because it's
exactly. So he was killed.
Yeah.
So we can have him before, but we can't really have him after.
Yeah. Yeah. So
which is why it's probably more likely that he would be on the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, because we know that is going to be set before A New Hope.
Yep. Unless we see a flashback in Ahsoka, right?
Yeah, or I mean, they could throw. I mean, we know that the Veil of the Force is going to be the focal point in the Ahsoka show.
Yeah.
We know that the Veil of the Force is.
Yeah.
So maybe, maybe Ahsoka saves him.
Yeah.
Maybe the Veil of the Force was used. Maybe she used the Veil of the Force to save him, and that's when they realize, wow, we could use the Veil of the Force to do an even an even greater good.
Yeah.
Maybe we could use the Veil of the Force to stop Palpatine from doing what he's going to do,
from being resurrected. And
yeah.
Oh man, no, I do.
But that's the only way I would see him turning up in Ahsoka. Right? I still think the most because the thing is, it's that they could bring him back without it being about fan service.
Yep.
If they just brought him back for a glimpse in an episode, then that would be kind of the cheap way of bringing him back, because that's fan service.
Yeah.
Bringing him back and involving him in some kind of a plot
would make sense.
That would make sense, which is why, like I said to you, which is why I said in Breaking Bad batch, that's why I think he could turn up at the end of the show, because he is going to be one of those senators like Mon Mothma that is an early adopter of and a part of the early stages of the rebellion.
Yeah.
And he's going to have these safe houses and these locations where he can keep people, housed and safe.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that, he's going to be the person that, squirrels away Omega to make it safe. And then Bad Batch Season 2 can be a little bit more raucous because they're not looking after a small child, 24/7.
True. I do like the idea of Jimmy Smits coming back. He is a handsome man. I mean, let's scroll back up and look at him. Look at that. That's the smolder right there. That is,
smoldering.
That's smoldering, right? And I could see him in a Kenobi, right? In a Kenobi film. I'm very
not a Kenobi film, the Kenobi series.
That's right.
Series. You got to remember they binned the film. And they're going for the TV show. Obviously,
that's right.
They've. I mean, and it can't. From a bean counter's perspective, it makes more sense to go with, because they've had success with the Mandalorian.
Yep.
If you're looking at two things, right? So you're looking at Han Solo, millions spent, no profit, and then you're looking at the Mandalorian, millions spent, millions in profit, and good merchandising.
Yep.
Because let's be honest, where do you see merchandising for Han Solo? 5 and below.
Yeah. That's where I get my Funko Pops. I mean, that's
so the bean counters are like, okay, do we go with a Boba Fett movie, or do we go with a Boba Fett TV show? And we know now
it's a TV show
in the book of. So it's like, and then do we do a Kenobi movie, or do we do a Kenobi TV show? So I think that they've just taken those older ideas from the the ideas that they had around about 2015, 2016, 2017 that they were going to make movies with, and they figured, you know what, it's probably going to be more profitable for us if we do them as TV shows.
Yep.
And with Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni at the helm, they are likely to be more successful as TV shows than if they were movies.
Agreed.
Because Disney does not have a good track record with movies regarding directors, regarding screenwriters.
No.
I mean, how many people have been fired and quit? It's just not good.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But when you take into consideration the directors that Favreau and Filoni have introduced, no issues, not a peep out of them. They all get on brilliantly. They all know their jobs. They all know exactly what they need to do. They're all friends. They're all, on good terms with each other. And let's be honest, Filoni and Favreau have put together a good bunch of directors.
Yeah.
I will say the jury is still out on Bryce Dallas Howard. She has still got no experience, and she is there purely through name recognition and her father only. Okay, I still don't have issues with her continuing to direct episodes here and there. I don't think that she should be given a show.
Yeah.
I don't think she has the experience to do a show yet, but she is learning her trade from very good people.
I agree.
So I'm happy for her to see. I think she, not giving her a show that she could potentially screw up, and just having her, she does an episode of this show, an episode of that show, an episode of this show, an episode of that. If she does that for like 3-4 years, then give her a show, and she's got that wealth of experience directing different Star Wars shows. Then, and at that point, once she's had a good grounding and she's had an education, a solid education, then she would be better.
Yeah. No, I agree. I do think she's got some chops. I am very excited to see what she does with the stories, with her own shows. I mean, because she does have her own show, right?
I don't think she's been given her own show, but she is going to be continuing to direct.
Yeah. Okay. So she'll probably be one of those jump in, jump out cameo directors.
That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah. That's because I do think that would be the most beneficial thing for her to do, because if she gets given a show and it bombs, it's going to destroy her career.
Yeah.
If she does one-off episodes left, right, and center in established storylines, and a few years down the line, then she gets a show, it's less likely to fail, because she'll be able to take all of that knowledge from all of those directing jobs on all of the different shows, and she can take all of that Star Wars knowledge into a show, as opposed to, she's done 3 episodes so far?
Yeah, something like that.
3 episodes does not warrant giving a director an entire show. It just doesn't. She needs to get at least another 8 to a dozen episodes from different shows under her belt. Yeah,
a season's worth of shows.
What would if she got a season's worth of episodes from different shows under her belt? Yeah. Then and something like that is still going to take 2-3 years. Sure. Then it'll be like, right, okay, we've what? I think if they give her stuff from the Book of Boba and Kenobi and Ahsoka and Mandalorian season 3. When they do dust the mothballs off, or the Rangers of the New Republic, give her that.
Oh, that would be awesome. I think that would actually be really cool. And
give her, because it's going to be we're in a 2 to 3 year cycle.
Yeah,
where we're going to get the Book of Boba, Ahsoka, Kenobi, and Mando season. That's 4 shows. That's going to give us a 2 to 3 year cycle.
Yeah.
And at the end of that, then they'll dust off the mothballs.
Yeah.
Or for the Rangers of the New Republic, give her that. Because her and Gina Carano already know each other. They can bring back some of the characters from seasons 1, 2, and 3 of the match. They can put together a decent ensemble, and something like that would work, I think.
Yeah. No, I agree. So for those of you just joining,
Audrey and Bill Brady, you haven't missed much. We've been talking. We've only talked about a couple things: the Lego thing, and the Jimmy Smits thing, and the Atlantic article.
Yeah. So we talked about the Atlantic article. We talked about the Jimmy Smits coming, and we spent the first 20 minutes, talking about Slave One. And how dumb we all think it is. But now we are moving on to something that is the dumbest thing that I think we can all agree upon. Recently, Seth Green, also known as Toto, also known as, what else has Seth Green done? He's in a lot. He's
done a lot of stuff.
He's a huge part of Star Wars. And a big fan. Like, Seth Green is a
Family Guy, Robot Chicken.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Luke Skywalker. He's played Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. So I'm going to start this segment
That's a good point. Seth Green has actually been Luke Skywalker.
I'm going to start this off by saying that one of the things that really brought me in. So I've said this before to anyone who's watched the channel. I am a Johnny come lately to the Star Wars universe. I saw the prequels in the theaters, opening night every time on accident. It wasn't planned. I watched the movies, the originals, in the throughout. But what really got me is two things. The first was the Wizards of the Coast Star Wars miniatures game. I was losing terribly to a friend of mine who taught me and who even let me cheat, and I would still lose. And so I spent hours upon hours upon hours researching these characters and the rules to this game, and I just fell in love with the story. And so that's one. And the Family Guy. I froze? I don't think I froze.
Thaddeus, you froze.
Oh, I've been talking this whole time. Did I freeze to anyone else? Doesn't look like I froze. Leave a message in the section below if I froze. Can you hear me, Nev? Did the Nev did you freeze? Nev froze. Am I the only one who's not frozen? Okay, so I'm going to keep talking. Except that... All right, so I'm going to keep talking. Nev is going to reestablish this link for me. Frozen Carbonite. Can you still hear me? I can still hear you guys. Okay. Let me jump up, bro. Oh! Whoop! So, let me bring Nev back up. Oh, my goodness. Star Wars Detours. Oh, the Nev. Zoom crashed on us. This'll be fun. Oh! Zoom kicked me. Why did it kick me? Zoom. You demon. Okay, I'm joining again. I got this. What would a lot going nerdy live stream be without technical difficulties? Oh my gosh. Balls. Yep. All right, it's not showing up. Da, 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 da. It's part of my charm. Being terrible at this is a classic stream. We might have to go. I am trying to join again. And there we are. Open Zoom meeting. Just took a second and had to close. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
There.
Here we are. So it wasn't me. It was
I'm sending you a message. You get nothing. I'm not getting you joining back. I mean, what were you doing?
I was talking to the people in the chat. They all heard me.
I'm the most important person.
I would disagree.
Not them.
I would say our audience is the most important person. All right. So,
okay. Wizards
of the Coast Star Wars miniatures and the Family Guy Star Wars episodes. That's what solidified it for me. I spent all of that time researching Star Wars. At the same time, Family Guy gets permission to do this like spoof, and I love a good spoof. I absolutely love a good spoof, and it was amazing, right? And it was around the same time that I was kind of getting involved in Star Wars again, and I was like, this is perfect. I'm like, this is incredibly well timed. And so, like, I went back and I was learning stuff, and it was awesome for me. And then I hear that Seth Green met with the creator himself and made all of these. When was this? When did he make all of this? 39 episodes that were
back
finished
in 2012 or something.
So 39 episodes.
It was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
He did, but basically he and his partner, in collaboration with George Lucas was involved in this.
Yeah.
Because obviously this was all done before he sold everything to Disney in 2012. So all of this Star Wars Detours stuff was done, and it was sanctioned by George Lucas, and it was done with the collaboration of George Lucas. I don't know who Seth Green's partner was in this, but obviously it would have been something. It was probably his Robot Chicken team.
Yeah, I think
it could have. But here's the thing: I want to see this. I want to see these 39 finished produced episodes, 69 unproduced episodes. We're talking over 100 episodes that, for some strange reason, generate. It's free money for Disney, but they don't want it.
And here's the thing: this isn't just people who are like, these are voice actors, and these are people that like will get paid.
And you know that there's going to be some Donald Faison in there, and
absolutely.
I love me some Donald Faison.
Absolutely, and he's already part of the Star Wars team, right? He's hype Faison. The point is, these are people who are not just going to phone it in. Yes, you're going to pay them to be actors, but these other 62 scripts, I mean, they're amazing people. They're amazing actors. They're nerds who want to do this. So it's going to be done well.
Yes, and here's the thing. I do not know a single hardcore Star Wars fan that does not like the Star Wars Robot Chicken or the Star Wars Family Guy stuff, because it was absolutely hilarious. It was respectful of the source material.
Yes.
While having fun. There was poking a little bit of fun there. There was some jokes in there. There was some comedy in there. There was some toilet humor. It was a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So I can really, really imagine these Star Wars shorts. I mean, we don't even know how long. I mean, they're probably like 20-minute episodes, something along those lines.
Right.
Probably 20-minute episodes, but I can just imagine them being really, really funny, and actually, something that Star Wars fans would really enjoy watching.
Yes.
You market it as that, from the, like they do with with movies, from the creators of The Matrix, from the creators of John Wick. We bring you this, and this is from the creators of Star Wars Bad Robot. We give you this.
Yes.
And everybody would be like, "Oh my God, give it to me now." I mean, so many people would sign up for Disney Plus just to watch that.
If I wasn't already signed up for Disney Plus, I would. I will admit that I have tried to sail the high seas in an attempt to find these leaked somewhere on more than one occasion. I don't recommend that, and I'm sure
Army Hardies.
And I'm sure I tried to play Hondo, and it failed. They're not out.
Did you use a VPN?
I mean, I do now, but I don't think I did at the time, because they're you do not take from Disney. The House of Mouse is litigious. They come after you. But like, that's the thing. This is awesome work. And like, if they did launch a trailer that's out there, you can go and watch the trailer for this, and it looks really funny, right? It looks really good, but for whatever reason, they are dragging their feet. And if ever, and I think Paul mentioned this, something about like, to throw back in the chat, Paul from the Escape Pod cast is our moderator, so welcome, Paul. But he mentioned that with the Slave One controversy, there's not a GoFundMe, but a change.org petition going around, having people sign up. What they should be doing a change.org petition of anything, if ever, is getting this made. Like, this is it's just great stuff. you know, from a brilliant
Yeah,
mind.
a change.org petition for the Slave One ship is completely bollocks and meaningless.
Yeah.
If it sells really well, the PR will have done its job. If it doesn't sell really well, then they'll put the name back on it because they'll be like, well, clearly there are some people out there that are only going to buy this product if we put Slave One on the fucking box. So they'll put it back on the box, and then those people will go buy it.
Even though it's probably like littered throughout the manual.
Yeah, even though it's but we put it on this. It's like, yeah, don't put it on the outside. Can we still put it on the manual? Yeah, you can still put it on the manual.
Still put it in the manual.
Just the outside of the box.
Yeah, just don't let people who won't actually buy it see. But the people who buy it, it'll be there right there in the manual, probably. Right?
Yeah, it'll be on the front cover. Slave One. Nothing else on the front cover.
It won't even have a picture. It'll just the words. But this is something like that needs to happen. You know?
Yeah, I mean, how long did it take? I mean, you'd think after 10 years they'd go with it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they gave us season 7 of the Clone Wars. It didn't take 10 years for us to get that. It only took 5 for that.
Yeah.
All right. The Bad Batch, they got harassed. It's like, we want a Bad Batch show. They gave us a Bad Batch show. This, to be honest with you, this is one where pressure on Disney
needs to
be
put.
They already own it.
Yeah.
They already own it.
This came along with the purchase of Disney.
Exactly. They've already got 39 episodes produced. All they have to do is stump up a little bit more cash to bring Seth Green and his team back and simply say, oh, can you finish producing the other 69 episodes?
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
And they've got, I mean, they don't even have to put all the episodes on in one go. Seriously? They could break that down into 5 seasons and really squeeze us fans for it. You know?
Yeah.
They've got merchandising. Okay? They've got the merchandising. And whatever. Here's the thing. I've seen some of the animations for some of the characters. Could you imagine some of these characters?
Yes.
For this in Swagger.
Oh my gosh.
We've been screaming for a proper Leia for a while. They could give us the Leia from Detours with the great big buns. Oh my gosh.
Oh, like this would be awesome. Now, like, so when I first assumed that they weren't going to put this out, like I was worried that it was them not being, what was I going to say? Because it's kind of crude, you know? It's that potty humor. And as far as cartoons go, Disney doesn't kind of jump into that, right? They haven't gone the way of Adult Swim or Cartoon Network, right? Not yet. But they do have Fox, right? They do have 20th Century Fox. And so my thought was, now that they're starting to, Disney Plus has got this thing where it's like, right now it's only in, I think, Latin America and Europe. So what they did is you can kind of log into Disney Plus, and instead of jumping over to Hulu and all of their other platforms, it's all into one conglomerate, right? So you can stream like all this stuff without having to switch over, right? It's called Star, if I'm not mistaken. But now that they have that, now that they have Fox and Disney Plus and Hulu and ESPN, all of these things together with this one platform, it would be perfect to introduce something like Star Wars Detours, where it's a little more, maybe a little raunchier than what maybe Disney Plus is used to, but that some of these other platforms aren't. I mean, they're totally accustomed to it. But here's
raunchy.
I mean, maybe not raunchy, but like.
Oh, come on! Hang on a minute. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah. I just got to change earbuds. Yeah, no. Don't go there. Because it's not going to be raunchy or inappropriate because they're letting people get disintegrated on Loki. That's on Disney Plus. Okay.
But I get again. I mean, that's not a cartoon.
It's irrelevant. It's a show on Disney Plus.
No, I get that. But a cartoon is different because people look at it different. My wife, I love my wife, but hopefully she's not watching. She's probably not watching. I love my wife, but she and I will watch TV shows and have language and vulgarity, not a problem. The moment I put on like Archer, it's an issue because it's a cartoon. Because it appeals to a younger audience. And it says all of those things that we watch as adults that are on live action are now okay for kids, right? And there is a difference. There is an issue there. And I think that's part of it. Now
Bad Batch has got violence in it. Clone Wars has got violence in it.
But it's not like, it's not vulgar potty humor. Right?
You mean it's not... It's not a la Family Guy, which is animation.
Exactly. All a Family Guy. That's my issue. Now I don't have an issue, and I feel like for a while I thought that's what Disney's issue was. Here's what I think it is actually: comedy. Disney is afraid of making Star Wars funny because of the fan reaction.
But that argument doesn't wash because the comedy that has been done has been very well received by fans. The Family Guy trilogy, the Robot Chicken, I agree. Star Wars stuff. I'm hard pressed to find someone that says, I hated it. It was horrible. I absolutely loathed it. Find me someone that says that.
I agree. I agree. But Disney has not been involved in any of those things. I mean, not directly. Disney owned Fox, and when that Family Guy stuff was pursued, and so not an issue. But I think it's they're afraid of the comedy aspect of this.
But they've been adding comedy to stuff where it isn't necessary.
I agree, and that's the point.
Look at some of the MCU movies where for God's sakes, Thor Ragnarok. For God's sakes, Thor Ragnarok was just full of unnecessary funny parts. And inappropriate funny parts.
I love Thor Ragnarok.
Hang on a minute, this is supposed to be a serious part, and you're throwing comedy in it. It's like this is not a time to add brevity to a situation in a story, but they did it.
I agree, but
they're not scared of comedy. I just think they see in the back of my mind, I'm thinking to myself, they had nothing to do with this whatsoever, and if they put it on Disney Plus and it's a massive success, the egg is on their face. It's like people will be like, "You've had this for 10 years and you're only now giving it to us. What's wrong with you?" And right, that's what's wrong with you. You didn't make this. Somebody else, because they literally had nothing to do with this whatsoever. Yeah. And if everybody loves it, people are going to want more of it.
Yep. It harkens back to the Atlantic article that says, "Hey, they've mismanaged it."
Yeah, right? And this is a major mismanagement.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. All right, so should we move on?
Yep, let's move on.
All right.
Detours is out of the way. I can close that tab now.
And close that tab. Fans want another Mandalorian actress fired amid controversy. And now, while this article says fans want another Mandalorian actress, it's Mandalorian, right? Amid controversy. What it should say is fans want another Mandalorian actress fired amid controversy. So the controversy comes with
they can't exactly put Twitter artsy in the title of an article, because then people would be like, so it's Twitter that wants it, nobody else, just a couple of people on Twitter.
Yep. So another hashtag, fire Sasha Banks, fire Gina Carano is on its way. So Sasha Banks liked this post on Instagram, right? My face.
I haven't liked that post on Instagram, but I do like that. That is what my face looks like.
Yeah, it says my face when the government tells me when I can do something again that I've never stopped doing. Now, look, your body
it's a meme, for God's sake.
It's a meme. It's a joke.
A meme,
right? It's a joke, right? And whether you, I don't know, agree with getting the vaccination or don't, I got it. I don't care, right? I got into the vaccination, or I got the vaccination because I had students that were nervous that they would get sick, and so I got it to protect them. If I become a zombie because of that, whatever. I will say, and this, I don't know, hopefully this doesn't get this thing banished. Jokingly, as I walked up to the lady giving me the shot, I said, "Can I see the bottle?" And so she showed me like the needle she was going to stab me with. And I said, "I don't see it." She says, "See what?" And I said, "The microchip. I don't see the microchip in there anywhere." Oh, that nurse was so pissed. She was so mad at me. She's like, "There's no microchip in this vaccine." And I looked at her, I was like, "Of course there's not. I know that." And she dead seriously, she's like, "Do you think that your life is important enough for the government to follow you?" And I looked at her straight in the face. I said, "Madam, I live a very blessed life. I have a wonderful family. I have a YouTube channel that I have a lot of fun on. If the government is not following me currently, they should, because otherwise they're missing out."
See, here's the thing with this post, right? The thing with this post is, if I was on my Instagram and I was just scrolling through, I'm liking, the image. I'm never reading the crap underneath it.
Whoever reads the crap
I
underneath.
am never, ever reading the crap underneath it. And there is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 6 paragraphs of junk underneath this post.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm liking the meme, and whatever you're saying underneath, I'm just not interested. I'm not interested. I'm liking the meme. That's it.
Exactly. I look at this, and just now, I've gone to this before.
Oh, not again.
What?
Oh, for God's sake.
It froze.
What is your PC's problem?
It's not
today?
Me. I blame you. Maybe it's the government. Are you still frozen? I'm not frozen. They see and hear me. But I will say, as Nev goes back into Carbonite, let me bring up my... Are you going to respond? I'm going to respond. I know that even though I've totally, that he warned me not to stream this on multiple platforms, he's going to give me crap. He's going to give me crap. And it's because I'm streaming multiple platforms. I'm sure that it is. I like Nev Frozen in Carbonite. I do. I'm not gonna lie. I think especially with that hat. That hat's got Nev. He looks good. I think we can all admit it. He looks good. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. Let me. Anyways, while Nev is frozen in Carbonite, I'm going to say this. I didn't even know there was a second post. I didn't even see it. I didn't. And so, how am I supposed to and that's the thing. I think a lot of people do stuff like that. They like a post. They're like, "Oh, that was funny," or whatever. And they don't actually go to the thing underneath, because no one cares about the thing underneath. I always miss Nev. Every time I get off a chat, I'm like, "Oh, Nev," a little tear. And it's funny because my kids, they'll watch the show from time to time. They're always like, "Are you gonna go stream with that angry British guy?" I was like, "Oh, not today, kids. Hit the Zoom link. I'm hitting the Zoom link." It's just not giving me the pop-up. I keep hitting reload. Reload, I guess. I trust this. There it is. There it is. Hold on. Here it comes. Here it comes. I blame the government entirely. They're watching us. They know.
This definitely ain't me. It's definitely you. Or your PC.
Probably. Or, again, we're talking about some controversial things, Nev. How do we not know that the government isn't after us?
I didn't see you put your Mike Zero hat on.
That's true.
So
I can get it.
I mean, it could be Susan. You know, Susan might be listening in, and she might be displeased.
Yeah,
with our conversation. Could be that.
She could. I don't know, man.
But anyway, you know, bottom line is this is a load of bollocks.
It is.
It's a couple of people on Twitter. It's a couple of people on Twitter making a mountain out of a molehill, and because there are journalists with nothing better to do. Sorry, journalists. Because they're not real journalists. With nothing better to do with their time except write articles about people getting outraged. I mean, how miserable must your life be if your job is to write articles based on people getting outraged on Twitter?
Yeah, because people are pissed off on Twitter about everything.
Exactly. Which kind of, you know, yeah.
Damn.
I mean, you start a new job. And you're like, yeah, what's my job? Oh, we want you to watch Twitter. And we want you to write articles on things people get outraged over.
So Mr. Bill Bradley in the chat says, they are watching you, Thad. The damn vaccine microchip. Oh, awesome. Anyways, we've decided that this is a load of crap. Next.
Next.
Rogue Squadron.
Yeah. This one's got me a little bit concerned.
Why, Nev?
Well, Patty Jenkins, we know Patty Jenkins is going to be the director for Rogue Squadron. Okay, correct. We've had this discussion before. Great director, because Wonder Woman was great. And she was just the director. She wasn't responsible.
On. Clarify. The first Wonder Woman was great.
The first Wonder Woman, yeah.
That's what we're talking about. Wonder Woman. Not 84, just Wonder Woman.
No, not 84. No, she was just the director for Wonder Woman. So we know that she can do a good job when she's given a good story. She's got the chops to be able to make a good movie. If she's just the director, we know that she can do the job. Wonder Woman 1984 was, you know, garbage. So Wonder Woman is up there, and then Wonder Woman 84, it's like not jumping off the, but it's hitting the bottom, it's hitting the rocks. It was awful.
Yeah.
Now she had the creative control for the story, and she was directing. So logic would dictate that the director bad at the creative side of things. So what do you do to ensure that Patty Jenkins directs a good Rogue Squadron movie? You have somebody else do the writing. You have somebody else doing the creative stuff. So now recently I think it was on, Cinema Blend. She announced, she announced that, I think it was in a tweet or something, probably, that the writer, the scribe for Rogue Squadron was going to be a gentleman called Matthew Robinson.
Yes.
And Matthew Robinson is where I'm kind of having my concerns. Because you go on IMDb and you look at what he's done. And there's only one thing that stands out. One, and he was the writer for the movie The Invention of Lying way back in 2009.
Which
the
was a
Ricky
good
Gervais movie. It was a good. Oh yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. It's the only thing of note.
All right.
Okay, the only thing of note. So what else has he done? Monster Trucks, Dora and the Lost City of Gold, the 2020 Golden Globes Award. You know, we're talking about, you know, Love and and a bunch of TV shows, right?
Yeah.
That's
But
what's kind.
Come on, man, Dora and the Lost City of Gold.
Now, yeah. So this is what's got me concerned, right? Now, the Invention of Lying is a good, very good script. It's original. It's
brilliant.
Not really taking anything from anywhere else. It is, you know, it was an original screenplay and story created by him.
Yeah,
and it was good. But it was 2009. It was 2009, right?
Yeah.
What's he been doing since then? Next to nothing. Very little. Why? The Invention of Lying was good.
Mm-hmm.
It was good original writing. Okay, and then he's done a bunch of other stuff that nobody really knows or cares about.
Yeah, he's been off the grid.
2020 Golden Globes, nobody cared about that. You know, why would you take a job doing something no one gives a rat's ass about? You know,
yeah.
Maybe he thought that Ricky was going to be doing it because it's like, hey, I've written stuff for Ricky Gervais, and Ricky Gervais does me well, so he signs up to do the 2020 Golden Globes, and then someone goes, Ricky's not doing it this year, and he's like, crap, I've got all this great material I've written for Ricky, and he's not coming. So But the reason why it's got me worried is despite that one movie back in 2009, there's nothing else.
There really is.
You know, we're talking about a Star Wars movie. Now, this could go one of two ways.
Mm-hmm.
It could go down the route of he has no experience at all doing science fiction. Okay? None. This is science fiction opera.
He has some. So he's connected to the sequel, Live, Die, Repeat, and Repeat. So this is...
That's not science fiction.
That is science fiction.
Yes, it's sci-fi, but it's not space. It's not.
It's a different sci-fi. Yeah, exactly.
It's a different kind. It's a different genre. It's a subgenre of science fiction.
Yeah. No.
Okay. It's so that and again, that's pre-production.
Mm-hmm,
okay.
True.
He hasn't done that yet, so we don't know what it's going to look like. But so it's going to go either one of two ways. He's going to go, I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I'm out of my depth. Patty, please help me. Because I'm worried that she's picked somebody with little to no experience in the genre that he's going to be writing for, so that she can jump in there and do stuff. Or, which will then turn into a train wreck, because Wonder Woman 1984 was a train wreck.
Yep.
Okay. Or he is going to be autonomous, and he thinks to himself, you know what? I'm going to be smart. I'm going to be sensible. I don't know much about this. I'm going to go to the source material, and I'm going to write something based off the source material.
Now, that's my feeling.
That's the only win-win situation here.
I would agree. And that's the thing. Like, I look at Rogue Squadron, the book, is one that is on the list for the essential Legends material. And I believe it's coming out sometime later this year. I might be wrong. I think it might. I don't know. But it is coming out soon. TM.
Yeah, the X-Wing series of books and Rogues. If they make... Oh, my God. We've talked about this. If they do book one as the movie, it will spark off a Rogue Squadron franchise. It will just start a they won't be calling it like Rogue Squadron 1, Rogue Squadron 2, Rogue Squadron. It won't be like, it'll just be Rogue Squadron, like Star Wars, and then the episode name. It'll be Rogue Squadron, and then whatever the episode is. And
a Star Wars story.
Standalone movie.
Yep.
Yes, Star Wars, it'll be Rogue Squadron, a Star Wars story. And then Rogue Squadron, the Back to Wars, Rogue Squad, and you know, we've got like 9. Not all of them are great. There's about, I'd say about 6 out of the 9 were good. There's a couple of stinkers in there, but not every single. We've said this before. Not every book, not every show is a banger.
Yeah.
But there's enough source material to make a good half a dozen Rogue Squadron movies, and that's only going to happen if the first one is successful.
Yeah, no, I agree. And here's the thing. There's the Atlantic article pointed this out. I had a student who's on Facebook who years ago, I saw this. She sent me this this image, and it was essentially like, why is Hollywood making remakes of movies that were good? They should make remakes of movies that are bad. You know, or give them a chance if they had good source material, but the movie turned out to be bad. And Aragon was the book that she pointed out, because the movie.
I read that article.
Yeah, it was a terrible book.
I read that article. I read that article. Yeah, the Aragon one.
Yeah, and so like I sit back and I'm like, yeah, that's absolutely right. What they should be doing is finding source material that's good and making that into a movie, because it's not been done. It's not a sequel. It's not a remake. It's something new. Now, yes, it's a spin-off of Star Wars, but it's something that connects more people. And that's I think that's brilliant. I am hoping that's what they are doing with these Essential Legends books. They're feeling out whether or not people are into it. We know that they're doing it to make money, because again, at the end of the day, Disney is all about money. Their company, that's what they should be about. They should be about creating a product that makes them money, makes their shareholders money. That is their job. That is what they do. And I'm not faulting them that. But find something that will make money by making a good story. That is what people want. And if there is something already in existence in Star Wars, even if it's Star Wars Legends and you wrote it off at the beginning, bring it back in and say, hey, you know what? We were wrong. Don't even tell us you were wrong. We don't care. Just do it. just do it.
That's why, I mean, that's one of the reasons why when Warner Brothers finally brings out the next Batman movie, I will go and watch it, because the director and the screenwriter went directly to the DC comic Batman Year 2 for the source material. Yeah. They used a comic that was turned into a graphic novel by DC to make the movie, the new Batman movie. And I'm going to watch it because that graphic novel was just the dog's bollocks. Year 2, I mean, it wasn't as good as Year 1.
Year 1 was awesome.
Bloody good. Year 1 was awesome. Year 2, great. Not as good as Year 1, but still really, really good. That's what the movie is going to be based on. Loosely. Yeah. That's the source material that they use for the. So
it'll do
I don't care what anyone says about that movie. I am a fan of Year 2, so I want to watch that movie. If they use the source material, the book source material for Rogue Squadron, I am guaranteed to watch it.
Yes.
Guaranteed. Anybody that's read the X-Wing books from the extended universe is guaranteed to watch that movie. Anyone that hasn't read those books is likely to watch it. But the guarantee is from those that have read the books.
Yeah.
All the writer has to do is come out and say, yeah, you know, I got a lot of my, you know, he just needs to do an interview on StarWars.com. Oh, so how's the screenplay? How's the script coming for Rogue Squadron? It's like, well, you know, as you've probably looked at my history, and you can probably tell I don't have a lot of experience in the space sci-fi genre. So I did the only sensible thing I thought of. I went to the source material.
I asked an expert.
I read the books and I read some of the comics, and then, you know, I kind of figured to myself, you know, okay, so I kind of know, you know, I've got a baseline for what I'm now going to write for Rogue Squadron. I've got a baseline for characters. I've got a baseline for stories. I've got a baseline for archetypes. I know what roughly I'm going to do. You know, I'm going to throw in, you know, I'm going to throw a little bit of, you know, something new in there, like maybe a new bad guy. You know, maybe there's, you know, maybe we make the bad guy someone that's different from the book, to kind of give all of the people that have read the books and appreciate the books some nice surprise. Because At the end of we don't want a carbon copy.
No, of course not.
That's carbon copies of graphic novels and books. That's for animated. Like the Superman and the Batman stuff they do in DC. They take a graphic novel and they make an animated version of it. That's what animation's for. Carbon copies of books and graphic novels. But for a standalone live action movie, you want to take the source material and kind of make it your own.
Okay. And this is the exact reason why I have hope in Legends. Okay? They got rid of it. And I know that to you, everything outside of Lucas's own direct work is fan fiction. Right? But Legends is the idea that these are stories that happen. But via the retelling, they may have been changed a little bit. They may have been tweaked a little bit. Something they're true. There's truth in them. But it's the same thing with like oral history of any kind. It's a story is told and retold, and all of a sudden this farmer who saw a snake was Hercules killing a hydra, right? It's just something that's retold enough that it makes an epic story. You take these stories, this source material that's been in existence for decades, and you say, "Hey, we're going to take it. We're going to pay honor to it. We're going to say that we know that there are people out there who love it. We're going to relaunch that stuff in book form, but this is what we're going to do. We're going to make a movie out of it, and we're going to change subtly a few things. Not major things. The story is going to be roughly the same, but we're going to do a few things to make some whatever, while still not making it so crazy weird that we don't alienate the people who loved the source material, right? That's what I love about Legends.
Your audio's cut out, mate.
Is it completely cut out? It doesn't sound...
Can everybody still hear Thaddeus?
I think...
Yeah, your audio's cut out, mate.
Can you hear me?
Can't hear you at all.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now. Yep, you're back.
All right, well...
All right, that was weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
Anyways, take the source material. Aldrich says he can hear both of us. I don't know. Anyways, like, take the source material, make it better, embellish it, right? If there's something that maybe the author or something maybe didn't have time to flesh out in a book, or didn't flesh out in the book, maybe add a subplot or two, right? Make it your own, but use what we have, right? That's what Star Wars fans have wanted since Disney bought the franchise. They just wanted what was there, but better, but more of it, more accessible. Don't get me wrong, I love watching a movie, but I adore, I am 100% behind this switch from film to TV. A series can dive into a story that in a way that a film cannot, right? I think bring in a film, start a franchise off with a film, and then bring in a series, end a series with a film, whatever. Have a film somewhere in the middle, fine, whatever. But in my mind, the story gets built in a TV show way better than it does in a movie, right? And with Star Wars, I think this is the way to do it, right? Nev, I'll give you.
I found Matthew Robinson on Twitter.
Did you?
He has a podcast. He's a game nerd.
Ooh, see,
he's a board game enthusiast.
That
he's
gives
a co-host
me hope.
of a podcast.
I now want to subscribe to his Twitter. I'm gonna give you the last word. Any final thoughts, Nev?
Yeah, I have hope. Okay, I'm following him on Twitter now, and he's got a Discord server, and I've just joined it.
All right.
So, yeah.
So maybe more from Nev next time we...
I'm going to hit him up, see if I can get him on the Escape podcast.
That would be dope. That would be dope. So more to come with that. News and rumors. So this is we've had a lot to cover actually this time. We've been live for an hour and a half, a little over. And again, what good is a Going Nerdy live stream if there's not at least one technical difficulty? If we've had at least 3, so you guys have been hopefully enjoyed the stream. Stay tuned. There's bound to be more news as it happens. And Nev and I will be here to talk about it. Now, again, our focus is not to say this is what it is, this is what people are saying. It's to take what people are saying and try to make sense out of it. Right? So, what I'm going to do is after the show, after this wraps up, I'm going to go ahead and try to cut this into bite-sized chunks. So if you missed a segment, if you missed talking about the article from
Lego.
The Atlantic, for the Lego stuff, any of that, stay tuned. I'll probably cut it up in the next day or so, and get these posted on the channel. So, as always, ladies and gentlemen, actually, as always, Nev, thank you for this time. I appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you for joining us. If you catch us on the replay, wonderful. Leave a comment in the section below. Nev and I are not above criticism. If you disagree with us, let us know what you think. This has been Thaddeus and the Nev for Going Nerdy. And what did we call this? What was the official title that I gave this? It was
Slave One Controversy, Jimmy Smits and Kenobi.
Yes.
Star Wars Detours, Detoured, and more Star Wars news and rumor. Not rumor, rumor.
I might have been
Obviously,
cut
you
off.
ran out of characters.
Star Wars
must have run out of
rumors
characters.
and news. Thank you guys for joining us. Like, subscribe, share. Click that bell icon to be notified anytime a video goes live. This has been Thaddeus and Nev. And as always, smile and stay nerdy, my friends.